Hello everyone, this is Arnab Mitra from Lagozon Group. I work as a project manager at Lagozon Technologies Private Limited. Lagozon Technologies provide data analytics and data engineering solutions across the globe. Today I would like to talk in brief about data modeling in Power BI. Today's video is going to be about the basic concepts of data modeling. So let's start off. What is data modeling? A data model is not just a random collection of tables in Power BI. You can have multiple tables, a single table or multiple tables in Power BI, but that will not make a data model. Uh, it can be called a data model only when there are relationships between the tables. Okay, so as you can see, these lines which are connecting the tables are called relationships. And these are what makes this data model. Now, to understand the concept of a data model, we first need to look at what constitutes a data model. A data model generally have two types of tables. The first one, or the most important one, is called the fact table. The fact table is the table which contains majorly transactions or numerical data with which we can measure our performance. Okay. Now, apart from the fact tables, there is another kind of tables called the dimension tables. Dimension tables are tables which contains details about the entities. They are like the adjectives of the entities, which are called attributes. So dimension tables generally do not contain any numerical data. They contain details about particular entities. For example, as you can see, I have a date dimension table, which has date and month and quarter and year. Similarly, there is a customer dimension table, which has customer ID, customer name, zip code, email ID, and so on and so forth. There is also a product dimension table, which has all the details about the products. Now, once we have relationship in between these tables, then we call it a data model. A relationship can be of three different types. It can be a 1:1 relationship. That means the dimension table and the fact table both have the same granularity of data. That means the primary key, that is the unique column of the dimension table, which is also present in the sales table, will also be unique. Only then it can be a 1:1 relationship. If the customer ID is unique in the customer dimension table, but the same customer ID is repeated multiple times in the sales table, that it can no longer be a 1:1 relationship. In that case, it will be a 1:many relationship. If you consider from the dimension table, then it will be a 1:many relationship. But if you consider from the perspective of the sales table, then you can also call it the many:1 relationship. It's the same thing. Now, apart from that, there is also a many-to-many relationship, which is when both the tables have no unique key, but the ID, the column on which the relationship is created, both the columns have duplicate data. This is a kind of relationship which we try to avoid at all cost because this gives rise to data ambiguity. Now, the different kinds of data models that we have is called, first of all, A single table is not a data model. We can create some reports based on a single table, but that is called a flat table or a denormalized table. The basic unit and the most efficient unit in Power BI for data modeling is called a star schema. Star schema is the same example that you saw in the previous slide, wherein you have one fact table and surrounded by multiple dimension tables. Now, there is also something called a snowflake schema, wherein you have multiple levels of dimension tables. So you have one fact table, which is connected to another dimension table, and that dimension table in turn is connected to a further another one dimension table. So this is a multi-level hierarchy of dimension tables that is called snowflake schema. This is not the exhaustive list. There are other schemas like waterfall schema, galaxy schema, but those are pretty advanced level of data modeling, and we are not going to go into that today. That's all for today's session on the basics of data modeling. To learn more about this topic, you can log on to lagozonedutech.com, wherein you can browse the wide array of courses provided by the EdUtech arm of Lagozon Group. Thank you and keep learning.